is Michelle Isaak, born and live in Windhoek, Namibia, and I'm a visual artist, specialized in mixed media paintings. My work addresses both personal and social issues. My overall practice would be described in 3 words, would be powerful, outspokenness, and the excitement of using variety materials within one work. The saying of one man's treasure is another one's come up is basically imprinted in my mind, my body, and my soul. And this is when I use variety materials, seeing the potential in whatever people think is trash, and I would make them into treasure instead of trash. My work, the work that I'm currently working on, the title is Nothing But News. The concept is basically based on COVID-19. COVID-19 is a term, if you lived through 2019, you should know what is COVID-19. I'm so amazed by the strength of the printed media. It moves, it's alive. Media has been recognized as a powerful form of how we experience the world, especially 2020. In this crisis, media plays a significant role in making people aware in the situation and encourage them to stay positive. In terms of positive cases around us, around the world, this kept us informed about what's going on within our world, and we trusted the media with all the information they gave out, whether it's social media or printed media. We trusted them. And mostly my work would speak for itself, but just to state that our dependence on the media, whether it's printed or social media, during 2020, and shows that the significance of our media. 2020 did not only bring COVID-19. 2020 brought out corruption. 2020 brought out changes that needed to be done within our rural or urban areas, and it basically gave us a new view on how we see things, and we had to accept things to be our new reality, which we wearing masks, sanitizing hands wherever we go. We needed to do that, and that became our new reality. And my work only works on basically focus on what we went through as people within the COVID-19 or 2020. 2020 wasn't a year where it's not a bad year. Maybe people think it's a bad year, but it ain't a bad year, because a lot of people either benefited or not benefit from the COVID-19. We were affected both positively and negatively, and that's what my work is based on. My inspiration started way back in school when I paged through a magazine, sing a guitar, and I thought of myself like, maybe I could do this. And I redraw it the same way it is, and I actually could do it. And from there on, I started practicing, and that's when I started getting into the College of the Arts, did my diploma, and from there on, within my 3rd year, I started using newspapers as a material of using. Within that time, I used it as a symbol of my reference as a child, and I created coiling newspapers, and that was my walls that I had grew up with, and I had to break them down, and through art I could actually break it down, all those walls, and I could be outspoken about my situations that I went through as a child, and that helped me to be a greater artist. And now I could focus not just only on my personal issues, but on social issues as well. And that's why I went further on, working with newspapers as the community gets involved within everything, because the newspaper is not just meant for one person, it's meant for the whole wide world. And that's why I use newspapers. Within this work, I use only newspaper titles, which relates to whatever. If you read a title, it's where we all start in reading the newspapers. We read the titles first, and then we know basically on what the article is about. And I use fabric as well. Fabric in a symbol of fragile. Fragile as in it could be, it's flexible as well, but it's fragile just to fold and to do anything. And that's kind of how my life is. I feel like my life is very fragile, and that's why I work with fragile materials like paper and fabric and paint as well. So yes.